Oh, Ankopolis Plaza, how I've missed you. The air here still smells like coffee beans and laundry detergent. They say some things rarely change, but as I look around, everything is so different. I still don't think I've gotten used to the new station platform they finished building. From the sidewalks to the streets beyond, the sights are positively overwhelming. Ankopolis Tower's fresh coat of paint looks amazing. Posters for our new single, Wave Goodbye, are all over the place too. I remember when the huge billboard over there had our debut album artwork plastered on it instead. It's going to be a pretty busy evening, so while I have some downtime, I figured I'd write some of my thoughts. I have way too many of them swirling around in my head. I feel like my brain is going to go kablam. Seriously, is this the same plaza we would commute to back then? So many Inklings grew up near this hub, played turf for after classes and work. So many faces I might never see again, because I missed them on the way out. I hope they're doing all right. I hope you are as well. They often say that things like scents or your favorite songs can jog your memory. I think hearing Calamari Incantation as the train arrived did just that for me. Splatfests are in season, and even bigger than before. A multicultural explosion, as I've heard. So, we've been invited to partake in a fairly recent city revitalization project. We're connected to the Splatlands now that Hammerhead Bridge is also finished. Completed after 7 years. It's new territory for them, and us, pretty much. Callie and I have returned to our brand new hometown, as she calls it, from a song of the same title that she wrote, to dance our hearts out like we did all those years ago. For those who have been out of the loop, it's also been around 7 years since Callie and I quit doing Ankopolis News. When our contract ended, we went on to pursue other career goals, thanks to a burst of popularity after our unforgettable final Splatfest. I don't think I can ever forget the look on Cal's face the day we received our last theme from the fax machine. Enough time has passed, and I doubt management will scour the web for my personal blog, though I can say this. We were totally encouraged to play up our antics for the ratings. That's just showbiz, baby. Callie and I are so close that the roasting sessions come naturally. I admit it. We've even been asked if we're actually sisters because of our close bond. Actually, I think it's mostly because of our duo name. It's unfortunate, but during our time at Ankopolis News, there were a lot of Inklings who thought I hated her guts. Maybe they thought we both couldn't stand each other and still don't. At the time, it was a daily shocker to even browse the internet casually. Oh, there's a thing called ego searching, you know? If you tell me that you haven't looked up what others are saying about you online, you're probably lying. Just saying. Anyway, our producers used this final Splatfest theme to market the solo songs we created under the Squid Sisters label. Bomb Rush Blush and Tie Goes Out were basically our campaign themes. We'd really pulled out all the stops with merch and exclusive appearances to get people to vote for our respective teams. Thinking back, that was probably the moment we'd been put on separate paths in the industry. It was our canon event, so to speak. I almost went off script when the fest results came in, although I doubt anyone could tell back then. Honestly, days after that 72-hour weekend became a blur. I couldn't stay asleep most nights. Then, one day, it was goodbye to Ankopolis News segments. No more free products from brand collabs. No more dance rehearsals. We still hit the gym often, but I felt my discipline lacking. Nothing would ever be the same after that Splatfest. I won the last event of our season, but why did it feel so bittersweet? Why couldn't we have reversed our team choices? Oops, sorry for being all doom and gloom for a moment there. But I'm pretty sure Callie and her fan base felt the sting of that loss for weeks. Because now, Team Marie voters had bragging rights for eternity. What stands out the most in recent memory was our first time meeting Off the Hook, though. They were the next duo to take over the program from a newly renovated location somewhere in Ankopolis Square. Girl talk's big, but can back it up, so her energy was reassuring, despite being so chaotic. Her style is incredible, though. Marina's speaking voice is as soothing as her singing, and if you're a fan of her, you don't need me to tell you that. She's super pretty too. Allie and I have since hung out with him a few times, though we knew he'd left the show in good hands. I wonder if they watched any of the tapes he left behind while settling in. Marina probably has, considering she's such a massive Squid Sisters fan. The italics here are very important. Anyway, despite renting together, Cal and I started to see each other less and less because of conflicting schedules for both work and sleep. Team Early Bird and Team Night Owl, respectively. Inkopolis residents probably remember when she went missing during the filming of one of her latest TV dramas. It made national news, and I was so stressed out that I found myself obsessing over all the headlines. I could barely eat, kept dreaming about what could have happened, where we went wrong. I was kind of spiraling at the time. But how could I pretend things were normal when my best friend in the whole world had disappeared? One night, I wandered into the square during a Splatfest. Color Pulse blasted from the speakers as Pearl and Marina sang together. Their stage was so different from ours, built right over the battle lobby itself. I think examining the intricate details helped distract me from overthinking for a moment. Pearl's rap had spice, and Marina's harmonies were lovely. My body was moving to the beat before I knew it. Eventually, I thought of how Callie and I were often on separate stages during City of Color as we performed. Were we always meant to be two sides of the same coin, yet separated? No, that was just me being gloomy. Thankfully, all's well that ends well. Callie was found safe and sound. A little shaken, but realized that what led to her disappearance was the anxiety of being perceived all the time. While I took a few commercial gigs, my main line of work was audio-based. I got really into the podcasting scene while Callie went into acting. Cal was always having a camera shoved in her face every day, though I get why she'd want to escape. Even extroverts need some time to themselves, especially when they're putting on a smile for everyone else's sake. As she adjusted to life in Inkopolis again, Allie wanted to spend as much time together as possible. This meant she became nostalgic for the days of us recording together, like we used to. Fresh Start was released not long after her return, as we decided upon reviving the Squid Sisters label and choosing to go independent. We were contacted later about using one of our Splatfest hits, Ink Me Up, which was featured during Pearl and Marina's final Splatfest event, along with Spicy Calamari Incantation. Allie and I were also flown in for a huge photo shoot a year later. We were illustrated in promotional art for Chaos vs. Order. The theme didn't seem as friendship-ending as Callie vs. Marie was. I honestly felt kind of jealous. We both wanted so badly to perform again, to be remembered. Splatfests were 24 hours, and we didn't always miss the 9+ hour days, but transforming the fans' lives by being their beacons was always worth it. I've always had a little bit of anxiety getting up on stage, and I've always been the mellow one to compliment Callie's peppy spirit. I doubt myself at times, but when I'm with Cal, I can do anything. She's had my back ever since we were younger, and she's hyped me up before each live, just like she did when we sang during the Calamari County Folk Festival. 7 years later, it seems like our wish came true. And we'll be on a platform next to each other this time. Splatfests have halftime performances now that each event is bumped up to 48 hours. We'll leave it to Off the Hook to start trends after their holiday bashes. Seeing the 3D mock-up for our Splatfest trailers join together as a stage, it's both new and nostalgic, nearly brought tears to my eyes. Allie didn't hold hers in, though. Not at all. I could only smile as the feeling of nostalgia lay in my soul. I couldn't push it down any further. Nostalgia itself is a hard feeling to describe, and despite that, Allie tried to capture its effect in her lyrics. Is it a longing for simpler times when life used to be easier, whilst knowing you can't return to the person you used to be? We can't rewind time, but the places that stand the test of it will always live on in our hearts. I know that the experiences we make will not always be clear memories in our minds as the years pass. The way an event unfolds in the present will look different in videos and photos in the future. You may notice something you didn't pay attention to fully back then. Maybe that's just the beauty of this experience, this festival of life. We're constantly evolving and reaching new heights, learning from our vast experiences. Not to get too philosophical or anything, I just think that's pretty neat. They say some things rarely change, but as I look around, everything is so different. I don't know if I will get used to the new station platform they finished building, but that's just a part of life. Things will improve, but you won't always be stuck where you once were. As I sit here, in the Inkopolis News dressing room I became familiar with for a year and a half, I'm overcome with so many emotions. Being in this chair after all this time is surreal. In a few more hours, I'll be at the center of the plaza with my best friend, performing a brand new dance routine we've tirelessly perfected. I hope you'll come out and watch us again, just like you used to. Even though we're not hosting the event and are just musical guests, you'll still feel the excitement in our voices, won't you? We'll be waiting in the plaza as the sun sets and the neon signs flicker with life, waiting for you to hear our song. Maybe you'll feel like we picked up right where we left off. It's a blissful illusion, and of course, a wonderful opportunity. Thank you for supporting the Squid Sisters after all these years. I still feel like this is just the beginning of our story, though. Here's to creating tomorrow's nostalgia in this present moment. With love, Marie. Tonight will not last, and neither will we. The clock is talking like the beat of a drum. We're ready for the tunes morning brings. 1, 2, and 3, we're counting. This is the pre-show, the first of many. This is the anthem of the days still to come. Get ready for the future with me. This night's the first of many.